we represent workers in many different industries who are not paid properly by their employers. One of the industries that we wind up dealing with is mechanics. We've represented many auto mechanics, motorcycle mechanics, and boat mechanics in lawsuits against their employers for claims related to unpaid wages and overtime. So we wanted to provide some information here to help mechanics learn if they have a claim for unpaid wages. One of the most common ways that employers pay their mechanics is on what's called a piece rate basis. Most companies call it flag rate, but we've also seen employers call it commission or flat rate. Basically, the company pays you a percentage of the price of each job you work on, or a certain preset fee for a certain type of work. For example, the mechanic might be paid $25 for every oil change he does. This pay structure is generally fine, but it becomes an issue when the employee begins to work overtime. In our experience, when flag rate compensation is used, companies almost never pay overtime on the hours worked in excess of 8 hours per day or 40 hours per week. This is illegal. Under California law, individuals performing mechanic services are non-exempt and must be paid overtime for all hours of work performed beyond 8 in a day or 40 hours in a week. Many companies try to get around this overtime issue by saying that its mechanics are salespeople and therefore are exempt because they are receiving a commission. Again, this is simply not true. California law is extremely clear that if a mechanic is actually performing work on a vehicle, he is non-exempt, and inside sales exemptions do not apply. Other legal issues that we see frequently in the mechanic industry are illegal deductions for uniforms, tools, gloves, or other supplies. Under the California Labor Code, the employer cannot deduct from an employee's paycheck for the cost of supplies that are needed to do the job. Another common issue that we see with mechanics is a failure to accurately itemize wages on the pay stubs. Basically, when an employer pays its workers on a piece rate or flag rate basis, they are required to provide employees with a rate per piece, the amount of pieces the employee worked on, and the piece rate for any overtime work that was done. However, because many of the employers are not paying properly to begin with, they do not necessarily want to provide employees with this information. Violation of these pay stub requirements can result in penalties as high as $1,000 per non-compliant pay stub. In our experience, the total amount of unpaid wages, overtime, interest, and penalties can easily reach tens of thousands of dollars per mechanic each year. When we represent mechanics in lawsuits related to these unpaid wages, we can go back as far as 4 years to recover unpaid wages that are owed to the mechanic in California. If you believe you've not received all of the wages you are owed by your employer, feel free to give us a call to discuss your case. We offer free consultations, and if we're able to take on your case, we will do so on a contingency fee basis, meaning you do not owe us anything unless we obtain a recovery on your behalf.